sorry.
Just introduce
Who
a
we
book.
are? Okay. Okay. I'm Shannon, and I am 1/5 of Inspired, the Inspired Girlies. And listen, I'm just happy to be back in the space. I took a break from reading, and coming back, it has evolved, and it's so wonderful to be in this space with you guys and to have this opportunity.
Okay.
Hi, and I'm Shay. And again, 1/5 of Inkspired. I have read for years, but just really got into urban fiction about 2 years ago. Funny, after coming from mafia fiction, and then I came into in a little paranormal fiction, and then I came into urban fiction. And so we are
Okay.
three out of the five. We also have Artivia and Ambi, who are the other two, but Ambi is at a book club weekend this weekend.
Okay. So let's get into it. Who is Inspired? Give us your story and how did the vision come about and who's behind it all?
Uh, Inkspired started as dinner drinks and Delgados, actually. It started as in Jaquel Jay's group, and we were just talking, and I was like, hey, we should have dinner, we should have a meetup, dinner, drinks, and Delgados.
Mhm.
And so she let us start a chat, and people were all talking about, let's meet, let's meet, let's meet. But nobody would ever actually come up with a meeting date. So
Mhm.
Nat was like, I have a Zoom. Let's do Zoom. So we started Dinner Drinks and Delgado Zoom. Shannon, Artivia, and Amby helped us with the first one, and then we brought them in. And after about 6 months or so of doing Dinner Drinks and Delgados, we were like, well, hey, why don't we plan an event? And let's make this all a company that we do specially curated events
Mhm.
that are small, because our point is we really want to, and why we do the Zoom calls too is to connect the reader with the author without
Mhm.
them having to worry about a lot of the technical stuff behind it.
I like that. I like that.
Right.
Anything
So,
else?
well, we can be that liaison for the reader and for the author, and then too bringing awareness, because I follow your page, and I've heard some of the topics that you have discussed, and one that really sticks out for us is reader etiquette and how the readers really respond and respect the authors and respect them in this space. And so that was one of the main things that was common amongst all of us, is that what we wanted to see, along with curating book events that were interesting to us,
Mhm.
but being that bridge and being that support that the author needs, because now there is so much opportunity out here. You
Mhm.
just have to go get it. You have to be engaging. You have to look for it all the time. It's not going to come here, but that doesn't mean it's not there. Sometimes you just have to go and look for it. And so I think that is what makes us unique, in that we all bring a different skill set. We all bring a different amount of years of reading. We all read different things. They're paranormal girlies. I'm not a paranormal girly. They're trying to get me into it. So we all bring in a different mindset and different, reading backgrounds and things that make us complete. That's my,
Okay.
take on it.
And I just think that we came together because we were like minded. We wanted to do something great. And
Hmm.
we found that a lot of these bookish spaces created friendships and bonds and things like that. And we just created a cool little friendship. We supported Jaquel at the time. And we were like, this is really cool. We should do, because we wanted to do a Dennis Drinks and Delgados live. And it just kind of, people were like, yeah, 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 but no one executed. And that's how the Zoom came in. And then, we just kind of built on that to kind of curate a space where the author felt comfortable and the people could actually ask questions to the author where they don't get drowned out by other people, or it's not 10,000 messages and your question never gets answered. And so it's worked out. And Jaquel has graciously just asked us to post even on her Patreon sometimes, just to help her out on the back end, so that it is a little bit more controlled and everyone can get an opportunity to speak with her.
I like that. So, what's the mission behind Inspire Events? Like, what's the message are you sending with every gathering, every Zoom call you create?
To connect the reader with their author. and allow them to express their love and allow the author to feel that without, like I said, without having to worry about the technical stuff, without having to worry about, so that it's a free exchange.
Okay.
And
Okay.
the feeling of overwhelm, because sometimes a lot of our authors are introverted, and when they see, hundreds of people kind of coming at them at one time, it get a little shaky. So, curating a space where they feel like, okay, this is kind of a controlled environment. I can be myself. I can let my hair down, and the people can come and ask the questions and kind of feel like, oh, I got an opportunity to speak to Jaquel myself. I didn't have to go through someone else. I didn't have to wait on a long line, and it just was beautiful conversation.
Okay.
And I think too, I like the larger events, but the smaller are okay too, because then everybody is getting something that they can go to. And then I'm liking that I'm seeing the events that are bringing new to me authors. I'm loving seeing the authors that are not always talked about, in this space, but they are now getting the opportunity to connect, because I mean, let's be real, we support each other. The majority of this community was built by Black women, and we're the ones who go and help and support each other. And so I just love it here. I think that the more that we work together and the more events that we host, that listen, the sky's the limit, and
I
we didn't
bet
even
right.
see this 6 months ago. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure when you started, you probably didn't see this then. So,
Hell no.
right.
So we're working on pitch. What our goal is to be what we call author support. So we do have our event, which we'll curate not every year, but we are also offering author support through connecting them through their Zoom calls and also coordinating events. They be the planner, we be the logistical people that help them on the day of, so that they're not running around crazy. We just actually we're supporting an event next year. We've discussed that, and so that's our thing that we are also offering to authors.
I like that. I like that because a lot of people don't know about virtual events.
Mm-hmm.
Virtual events is a thing, and they're very popular. But you only see them in white book spaces.
Yes, Da Vinci
That
just had one.
exactly. That's what I was talking about. Yeah. So virtual. Sometimes people just don't want to be in person for whatever reason, but feel more comfortable speaking virtually.
Yeah.
So I like that. I really like that. So what makes your event different in the Black book event space? Like what sets Inkspire apart from book events popping up all over the place?
Nat, you want this one?
Yeah, I think when we started out, it was just like, wow, we were hitting our 1 year anniversary of doing Dinner Drinks and Delgados. And we also recognized that, guess what? Jai is not always going to stay in the Delgados Inferno space. She's going to grow. There are going to be other things. So we were kind of thinking to do something as like a ode to the Delgados Infernos, and kind of transitioning out of Dinner Drinks and Delgados and into Inspired. And so we wanted to curate smaller events where people got an opportunity to really engage with the authors for a free day. So it's not like, okay, I waited on this line for 2 hours. I didn't get to see the other authors that were present. I didn't have time to engage with my favorite author. We wanted a space where people can engage with their favorite author. They have multiple days, and they have time to get all of their books signed, have multiple meeting places, multiple opportunities for photographs and things of that nature, and have a good time.
So why these authors and narrators? Like, what's the criteria or energy you look for when curating a roster for an event?
This specific event was tied to the Delgados because, like you said, it was our year of Dinner Drinks and Delgados, and Ja is transitioning into entering new families and stuff in the new year. So it was like a big, hey, let's celebrate us for a year. Let's celebrate her for a year, because she's the one who, first allowed us to support her. And so what we chose is there are people who are connected to the Delgado universe, as far as like Shannon's like curating Capri's bookshelf. So a lot of the authors were named in the book or have some type of connection to the Delgado universe.
Right. And that's one of the things I really liked when we were talking about the event and the people that we wanted to bring. We wanted it all to tie into the theme. And to Shay's point, when we were looking at, we were like, what about bringing in the authors that were mentioned in these books? And now it has morphed into something amazing.
Yeah. Like we recently announced, we got the narrators from Capri.
Right.
You know, Wesley and Lawrence. We have Ronnie with the perfume.
That is, yes.
Could curate the smell. You know, we have that type of stuff. So it has grown into just a couple to, well, let's keep going. And so the point is to create the Delgado's universe. You're going to attend the masquerade. You know, you're going to attend a New York block party. You know, and so it's that's what we wanted to celebrate. You know, go out with a bang.
I like that.
So, can have an experience.
That.
Yeah.
That.
You know, when I pay my funds and I get my money and you sell me this ticket and I get my suitcase and we going, I want to know that when I got there, I had an experience. No matter what it was, if I connected with the sisters, if I met my favorite art, whatever it was, I had an experience.
Yeah.
And that's what I hope and I express that people leave with, is that they had an experience. They were able to experience something great, something. I still float off of the last event I went to was 4Bs, and that's when I first met Natalie. And I still go back and look at those pictures and just kind of relish in the experience of the ladies that I got to meet, the influencers, the other readers, the authors. It was the experience. All the other stuff doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It was the experience. It could have all went bad, or it could have went all good. Whatever happened, you know, and that's just general. It was still the experience that I left with, and that's what I hope people leave from our event with, is that they had an awesome experience.
And we curated a location now. Okay, I know Augusta, Georgia is
not Augusta.
Augusta, Georgia. Yes, it's off the beaten path, but we got a beautiful mansion who has provided us with beautiful grounds to hold our event for 3 days. And like Shay said, the first night is a Monaco Masquerade mixer. It is a hookah ball. And then that Saturday morning, we're going to do our book signing and, you know, photos. And then that night, we're having like a New York City style block party. We have some surprises there. And then Sunday, we're having muumuus, margaritas, and mimosas as our farewell out. And as you know, we have so many wonderful surprises. We have so many guests, like the narrators have been added. And our last edition, we just got a confirmation from is Tati.
Okay.
So the Duke Boys.
Okay, look at y'all. Shit, okay.
Because there is a crossover with them too. So
yeah.
Right.
And yeah, so you know, so we wanted when people came that they actually got the immersion of the Delgado's Inferno's universe. So you have, you know, experiences of the events. You actually have the narrators there, hearing a read for a little bit. You have the authors there, people who have been in the book, and just engaging about it in the crossover. So we thought it was just, you know, to create a whole immersive energy. So we're hopeful that people come out and enjoy it.
I like that. I really like that. The thing about events, people have to understand that, you know, you curate the events for the readers in mind, but also for the authors as well. I mean, it's great to be a reader at an event, but the authors get lost in some events to the point they don't enjoy themselves. They're just there. You know what I'm saying? And I like the fact that y'all taking both in mind. So what does communication look like for you guys? Like from authors to attendees, how do you maintain clarity, care, and consistency?
Shay, she the project manager with us. Okay.
I'm actually creating an email for them right now. So I keep up with the authors and everything, and we keep updated on our website and our Inkwell group. We have a Facebook group that's called the Inkwell. And we are actually working on the lookbook to go out to all the attendees that'll have examples of, that'll have all the information, profiles of the authors and the creatives that are going to be there, and an inspiration, some inspiration looks for the, for the event. So the kind of people that are not going in and say, oh my God, I don't know what to wear. You can choose, but just some, hey, because that Friday night will be all black affair, so that'll make it easier. So it's just a little bit easier for people, and communication through us, it's me bothering them most of the time, and because I go to work really early in the morning. I'm like, sorry y'all, I know y'all are asleep, but just for the day, for the day.
So why is the communication piece so important to you in a space where professionalism sometimes slips through the cracks?
We want people to understand that, regardless that this is a fun event that we put together, this is a business first. We didn't play around with it. We said, if we're going to do it, we're going to do it right. We got our paperwork together. We did all the things to make sure that this is legitimate. So we want to come off, we want to come off that way from the start. We don't want to come off in the way where, like, oh, they're not serious. And, thankfully Shay is a great project manager in her real life. And project manages us and helps us to keep on track with our letters, making sure everybody's informed, because that's one of the big gripes that you hear a lot in the British community. They don't know what's going on. They're not informed. The authors are speaking. They're not listening. It's just all this discourse. So keeping everybody informed, keeping on top of everything is really important.
Yeah. I can say that being in this event book space is not for the weak of heart. Okay. And some of y'all don't check emails. Some of y'all don't check Facebook groups. But some of y'all will complain. Pick and choose your poison, bitches.
Okay.
Right. That part.
You're right. And we will bother people till we get a response. Like, hey, haven't heard from you. Hey, haven't heard back. Are you still, because look, anxiety and anxiousness comes from when you can't control things and when you don't know, and so we don't want them to be anxious, and we don't want to be anxious about it. And so just clear communication, like, hey, if you can't make it, we are fine. We just need to know so we can plan that spot, or we can adjust marketing. We don't want anybody to feel like they're obligated to do anything that they're not going to have fun about, that they're not excited about. There's no hard feelings on our end if anything like that. And so we just want to keep lines of communication. We send something every couple of weeks saying, hey, just want to make sure you're still good. Just want to make sure, know. And I like to do it electronically because I don't want to put anybody on the spot over, over voice, because people can just, deer in the headlight look, so we send, like, we have a meeting set up in a couple of days with someone, and we pre-sent the agenda, like, hey, this is what we want to talk about with you.
And see, I like that, because a lot of times, people don't understand behind the scenes that things happen. Things happen. Sometimes you have to move spaces because the event got so big. Sometimes you move a space and it's bigger than what you thought, so you got to move another space.
Right.
It's hard work, but it is worth it. We just seeing the faces of the people when they attend.
Yes.
I have to tell myself that daily.
You have to.
Daily. Okay. My husband be over here, he was just saying, you ready for Arlington? I say, yeah, I guess. But I'm like that every event. But when I get in there and I see how happy the readers are, or I see readers who don't know these authors.
Yes.
And then they go to their table and their face lights up when they talk to them, and they'll be like, how did I miss you? That makes everything worth it. All the headaches and everything, it makes it worth it.
Yes.
I want to say that goes along with that. We also chose a couple of authors that are not directly tied to the Delgados, but we thought would tie in with the feeling and that are kind of new on the scene. Like we have Arthur Cold, who is in the comments.
That's my baby brother.
Who is going to be there. And, he has the Ducati Mob and stuff. So he has street books. And so he fits in with the aesthetic and with the feeling. And
Mm-hmm.
but this gives him the chance to be with a different audience, you know, and all that type of stuff. And it helps us introduce him to other readers because we think we love him, you know.
Yeah.
So that's my
Yeah.
fave. You don't behave, but that's my fave. You know, like,
You don't.
and so we decided we wanted to use, you know, kind of glean off of Jack Wells, you know, and introduce some people who might not have to new authors, you know, new to me
Mm-hmm.
authors, because they're not like new, but maybe they might be new to you.
Yeah. Yeah. I think people forget that there's authors outside of your favorites.
Yeah.
And I don't want anybody in here to take that the wrong way. Honestly, with me, I don't give a fuck. But I'm saying that in regards to Inkspire being on here. Me personally, I don't care. I told y'all to diversify y'all palettes, but you bitches
Yeah.
don't listen. So whatever. So, how do you balance being professional while remaining real and relatable to readers, especially those who might be first time or new to book event spaces?
I think being transparent, first of all, doing talks and chats like this, because that was one of my main things when we were planning their families. Like, we got to get out there. People have to know who we are, because
Mm-hmm.
ultimately, people buy into to the brand. They're not buying the product. They're buying the brand of the person or whatever it is that they want.
Mm-hmm.
So, they need to know us as the brand and who we are. So now that we do that, we start looking at events to curate that they know shows that we care about them.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I'm big on action. You can talk all day long, but if your actions show you care, then they will leave knowing, hey, they really do care about us. They're not just out here trying to make a dollar. They're not just out here trying to host the event. They really want to see us engaged. They really want to see us have that experience. They really want to see
Mm-hmm.
us get the value for that dollar that they worked hard for to come to our event, and trust that we would bring them something that
Mm-hmm.
they could walk away. So for me, being transparent
Mhm.
and showing them that we care through actions lets the reader know, hey, we got you. But
Yeah.
while we have you, we got the authors too.
Mhm.
We not team reader, we not team author, we team right.
Right. Right. Right.
Bookland. Yep.
Team right. So come correct. Let's keep it all good, and listen, we're
Yeah.
gonna have a good time. That's what we want to do. Just ultimately have a good time, talk about these books, spend
Mm-hmm.
our money, buy t-shirts, whatever we gonna do, and enjoy ourselves.
We have to learn, and we've had to learn through, and you see that mostly in our Zoom events,
Hmm.
because we had to mute people. You know, like we've had to, like when we ask people to be considerate, we ask people, hey, one question, one comment, one question, because we have 50 people in line, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and the author is already been up here for 2 hours. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to be respectful of their time. We're going to be respectful of everyone else. So when you go into your third question, I got to mute you, you know, because that's just not right. You know, so we have to kind of have that line and say it's not personal to you, but I have to also protect the rest of these readers
Mm-hmm.
who have the same rights and the same protect, you know, who want to have that connection. And if that author has a 2 hour time limit and you take up 5 minutes when it should have been two, you know,
Mm-hmm.
that's not fair. Then that's two other people who missed out on their question
Mm-hmm.
because you felt entitled to 5 minutes.
That's the
You
key
know,
word, entitlement.
and yes, and so we have to do that, and we have to let people know. Thankfully, most people
Okay.
are like good, you know, fine, you know. We haven't had anyone
Mm-hmm.
say, "Oh, y'all are being rude," because we're never rude.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and if they have a question about it, they can contact us, and they can contact us, and I'll explain it. But we'll just say, "Hey,
Mm-hmm.
we explain the rules up front and multiple times throughout the thing. One comment, one question."
Yeah.
That's it. And the last one we did, we had almost 1,000 people on there.
Yeah.
Mm.
So when you're looking at having 1,000 people and we have a 3 hour window sometimes, that's not a lot of time for people to
Yeah.
ask questions, get their comment out. You know what I'm saying? So we want to be respectful of the author's time, but we want to give everybody an opportunity because remember, at the beginning of this all, we were readers too, and we
Yeah.
understand what it is to be there and want to say something to our favorite author, and somebody else is sucking up the time. And
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
it's not that we don't want you to say what you have to say, but we want you to be considerate. We want to give you the opportunity but also leave room for someone else to have an opportunity.
That's true. I think a lot of people don't realize they be trying to have this entitlement issue. They don't assume that they're that person until you tell them they're that person, and a lot of times they get offended by the truth. Well, baby, sugar cakes, sweetheart, the truth hurts.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Sometimes even me, I have to be checked. And I'm cool with it because as adults, it's different being corrected as a child
Yeah.
because we are in a child's place. But as an adult, we have to take the good and the bad, and we have to have discernment about things.
Yeah.
So if you act inappropriate and someone checks you about being inappropriate, that is their right so that you don't do it to the next person. But
Exactly.
a lot of you bitches be in y'all feelings.
And they feel.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
we want
I'm
people to
not
have.
speaking for Inkspired, y'all. I'm speaking for Storm. So don't be coming back talking about, oh, Storm and Inkspired. No, I'm
Look, we
speaking for
behind
me.
her going, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I'm speaking for myself. Who gonna check me, boo?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We want you to have a seamless experience, but we know how to set boundaries too.
Mm-hmm.
And once we set the boundaries and we show you by example and you decide that hey, that doesn't work for you, then we can show you an alternative.
Mm-hmm.
Now, whether
Mm-hmm.
you like that alternative, hmm, that's not our problem. But if
Yeah,
we brought something to you and we've shown you and we've given you that boundary and you
yeah.
cross it, well,
I
Yeah.
think
get
everybody
burned.
needs a boundary. Everyone needs a boundary.
Everybody. We
And
do.
We do.
and I know we in living in a soft ass feelings era.
Mm-hmm.
But we all need boundaries, y'all, because mental health is a real thing.
Yes, it
And
is.
sometimes when you cross certain boundaries, you fuck with someone's mental health for real, or their anxiety or whatever. So you have to take in consideration when you say things, do things, and act a certain type of way because you never know who you're triggering.
Right.
Right. Right.
We
Right.
do that before our. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was gonna say before our Zooms, we meet with the author. We meet with them, and we like have them come on a little early, and we'll say, "Hey, what's your boundaries? Like, what's your boundaries? What don't you want to be asked? What don't you want to be said? What things you don't want brought up? All that type of stuff. We get their boundaries from them, and we announce it at the beginning of the call, and we'll cut them off. We'll ignore the chat. We have people because it's 5 of us, so we have so many that monitor the hands that are up and the muting and unmuting. We have so many that monitor the chat so that we'll pause periodically so that we can get through chat questions. But we'll say, hey, she said not to ask that. We asked you not to ask that question. Hey, we
Yeah.
asked you not to bring that up.
And we repeat it throughout the Zoom. So if you didn't come on in the beginning and you missed it, you're going to catch it in the middle. You're going to catch it throughout. You'll catch it at the end. We try to make sure that that's something that's reiterated to respect the author we have.
And we take that on for the author as far as so that they don't have to say, I'm not answering that question. We'll say she's not answering.
But
Right.
more people need to speak out like that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And once again, I'm not trying to talk about nobody. All right? I'm just saying some people use authors as cash cows for these events. And they have no respect for the boundaries or space that the author is presenting in this space with their readers. They are more than cash cows, just like readers are more than a bank account.
Yeah,
You
right.
know what I'm saying? So have respect on both ends. So I like what y'all are doing. So what does family first mean to you? Like, why was that a chosen theme? And what are you hoping people walk away feeling from this?
Well, we wanted it to feel kind of like a family reunion. And, the Delgados, the Infernos, all of them together, it's a family. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's not family by blood, it's family by, loyalty to one another. And so when we thought about that, we thought about family first, fire always, because we understood, like, hey, if you're not about this life, you're not with us, then we'll burn it all down, and it's all right. It's all right.
Right. Burn it down.
Yeah, the Infernos are always, the family with the Delgados. It's all about that, and fire with the Infernos. So, and always together. So, family first, fire always.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then too, people can come and be themselves. One thing, and just before we got on, I was kind of reading a little bit of Sim, but one thing that they can that you see in the book is the characters are themselves. They're unapologetically themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Now, people have their things about them, and that's all fine and good. But at the end of the day, we're gonna come together. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna respect everybody's boundaries. We're gonna laugh. We're gonna buy our books. We're gonna celebrate. We're gonna hug, cry. Oh girl, I didn't know that was you. You look different. All of the things that we do.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna have a good time and go home and celebrate because
Love
I'm
that.
my theme is always gonna be let's keep it seamless. If we keep it seamless for the author, seamless for the readers, things can happen because that's just life. Things happen
Mm-hmm.
beyond your control, but it's all about the pivot.
Mhm.
So as long as we pivot, if things arise and we just keep it moving, and just ask everybody, just come with an open mind and an open heart.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And have fun.
And have
And
Yeah.
fun.
right, and have fun. Just come have a good
Yeah,
time
have
because
fun.
listen, I have been tickled at when I see authors fangirl over other authors. It just
Mm-hmm.
tickles me because I'm like, y'all do the same thing, but y'all they fangirl over each other. And then, and then it tickles me to see them actually be themselves, not the author,
Mhm.
but be whoever they are, and they're talking to you, and it's like, oh, you almost feeling like you're talking to your girlfriend, not
Mm-hmm.
Arthur so and so, because they are getting a chance to be themselves without judgment, without precaution, without they can just come, enjoy themselves, have a good time, sell their books, do whatever they want to do, engage with the readers, and go home.
Yeah.
I love that because what people fail to realize that a lot of times the authors will speak life into us
Mhm.
Man,
readers that are really close to them.
yes.
I've had Masterpiece, I done had Mo Flames, I done had King Wright, I done had Eshevon. All of them speak life into me. And Darlene, like, hey, bitch,
Mm-hmm.
you know, fuck them, keep going.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know, so it's this love that the author community has for the reader community if you allow it.
Mhm.
That
If
part.
you allow it. So
Mhm.
many people want to be in attendance and in the space of the authors, but they
Right.
don't want to know the authors.
Yeah.
That part.
Choose to think that the books are the authors
Mm.
and not know the authors. When I want to read a book and I
Mhm.
get to meet the author, I need to talk to the author.
That part.
Right.
I know that's right.
Right.
Yeah.
I
We
mean,
want to give them a chance to do that.
yeah, I'll tell you that if people don't know that books and blends would not even exist today without Jack Welch. It
Yeah.
wouldn't even exist today. Like I so new to the bookish space. My tea company it was an arm of my mental health practice. It was just a self
Mhm.
care thing. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Just for people to try things out as a part of their self care to relax. And I sent her a box that I thought was super cool in regards to the Delgados. And then I just started getting request after request after request about hey, can I get that box? Can I get that box? Can I get that box? And that's kind of how Books and Blends was born. And she spoke life into me because when I was kind of framing it around the Delgado, she said, no. She said, it's going to be books beyond the Delgados. She said, open it up to everyone and anyone. Don't just limit yourself to the Delgados. And with
Mhm.
that, that's what I just kind of took and just ran with it, and it's growing every day.
Yeah. And and that's the amazing thing about it. This podcast would never existed with I know a lot of people feel funny about IR, but it's okay. But you better not say nothing.
I'm an
I,
IR girly.
I like
But
our.
but without authors like Kenya Wright, Kenya Goree Bell, Sonia B, Mo Flames, and even Corvin King, the
Mhm.
narrator, without them coming on my show and pushing me,
Mhm.
Mhm.
I mean, pushing me. Stop asking those type of questions. Ask the real questions.
Wow.
Mhm.
Without them pushing me, this podcast would never existed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So there is space. We just have to give grace sometimes because shit happens. Now I ain't talking about the Million Lives Festival. I don't even know the real name of that shit.
Right.
But I ain't talking about the Million Lives
The
fucking
Fire
festival where
Festival
they
of the
cheated
Book
y'all
World.
out of y'all money and shit. I ain't talking
Right.
about them. I'm talking about real shit. Real events. You know what I'm saying? But you just got to give everybody grace.
Yes.
Authors grace, readers grace, event hosts grace. That's all that matters. So what is this event? Why is this event needed now? Like, especially compared to the bigger, more white led literary events, what gap are you feeling that others just don't or won't?
I think I know we're feeling in with the smaller curated events and the multiple touches.
Mm.
So you're getting four times with these 10, 15 people, with
Mm-hmm.
these creatives. And the book part where the book signing, we have a plan, we have a logistical plan where you're not going to stand in line for 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We've got that. We've got an assignment, a plan for everyone. So you're going to get to walk around and enjoy people. And then you'll know when you need to go and get in
Mm-hmm.
Jacquel's line. You know when you need to do. So it's the multiple touches. It's not I'm going to see her just for 2 minutes, or I'm going to see Cole just for 1 minute. I'm just going to see Reese for 5 minutes here, or I got to run. Oh, I got. There's no one in line over there. Let me run over there real quick. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? It is going to be calm. Everyone is going to have their time to connect and talk. If you talk to them on Friday, you can talk to them on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to them same people on Saturday,
Mm-hmm.
and twice on Saturday.
You're
So
right.
keeping it small, and so that the authors are not overwhelmed,
Mm-hmm.
and that the readers feel calm and they don't feel like they have to rush to get to everybody, because hey, you might have just taught them, like I said, 5 minutes today, but maybe you'll play a game with them on Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you'll do something with them on Sunday morning, so that everyone can just enjoy themselves for 4 days. We also, for our event, is different. We put some guys, we met individually with everybody that is coming.
Mm-hmm.
We talked to them and we said, hey, what on your side do you need? What do
Mm.
Arthur, what do y'all need? What is something about book events that you feel like needs to be fixed on your side? So,
Mm-hmm.
we curated special things for them. Like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, y'all feel like y'all are rushed and y'all don't get to meet with each other. Okay, we heard you. Let's do something about that. Let's do something about y'all feel like this and this. Okay, we heard you, because you need to be comfortable so that you can connect with their readers. Got you. So we'll make sure that we handle that too.
I like that. I feel like um, people want to be in person without being in person. They want the how can I say this? I'm finding it. Um, they want the authors to be a piece of meat standing to take a picture.
Mm-hmm.
They don't, and when they talk to them, it's not talking to them in a way that they're human, if that makes sense. It's only about the book, you
Right.
know. And I'm not taking away from people who are just there for the books. That's great. But to me, here is this person who was a creative, wrote a book that everyone loves, or they wrote a book people are just finding out about.
Mm-hmm.
And why are you just standing there like, I just want to take a picture?
Right.
Right.
I just, we ain't got to talk about it unless you talk about my book bag. Like, this is why I'm not an author, because I would have cut some of you bitches out.
Right.
I would have lost all my money, all my coins.
I
But
agree.
I feel like people need to understand the humanity of it all. People respect more when you actually are about them, the person, not just the book. The book is only a small percentage of who the author is.
Right.
You're
So
right.
I
And the
like.
I'm sorry, I was going to say, to your point, the author is still a person. Real
Mhm.
recognize real. Okay, I'm a little old school. Real recognize real. You can tell a genuine person. You can tell somebody who is really here for you, and if they're just really, there for an agenda. So,
Mhm.
when you go up to the authors, you can gauge off of how their energy is. But for me, I personally, I'm a talker, so I'm gonna walk up to you. I'm like, "Hey, how you doing? What, did you have a good flight?" You know, they might be like, "Girl, get this booking gone." But that's just me. But if once you feed off of the energy of the author, take some time to get to know them. These are real human people who, just like you, took time out their life to come down here and see us, to engage with us, to talk to us. And it should be a level of respect there, just for a human person, but then a level of respect. You don't have to ask a whole bunch of questions, but just ask something else. It could be anything. How was your day? You feeling all right? You need a drink? Anything. To get to that human part of it, instead of, like you said, just let's take this picture. I got my picture with my art, I can post it and go on, because all I want to do is be the first one to post that I was in the line and I got my picture and I got the special book and I got this and I got that. You don't really care. You just want to be the first one to say, hey, I got it, I posted it, I was in the line, whatever it is. So, and then you missed the experience. You could have found out a little bit more tidbit about whoever you're talking to.
I mean, I like the fact that I got to go to a strip club with Masterpiece. But
see what I'm saying? That's an experience.
That's I'm just saying.
Masterpiece.
Yeah, see, that's the type of stuff. That's the type of stuff.
Exactly.
You get your book signed and your picture Saturday. The rest of the time,
I got to touch some grass with Kenya Wright, but that's not here. You know what I'm saying?
But how did you do that? By talking to them, by engaging, by getting to know them, not just Masterpiece the author, Masterpiece the person, Kenya the person. It makes a difference.
Exactly. So, what are some of the fears? What are some of the fears or the doubts you think readers have about attending book events, and how are you working to ease that tension?
So I think we're starting off with communication, letting them know what to expect. We try to keep them active in the group, try to inform them of any changes, any additions. We have so many new things that we got confirmation about. We wanted this to be really, really nice. So when we were starting to get yeses, we were shocked. We were like, we can't wait to let people know that we have, and we plan to even have more. But we're just like, okay, we want to make sure this is good. We want to make sure that what we do shows them that we listen to the things that they were concerned about at other events. That we try to make it as we try to adjust it so that it can be accommodating to everyone that attends. And we're just hopeful. We want them to know that there's an open line of communication, that if there's a concern, they send us an email, talk to us about it, and we can see what we can do to manage it.
Yeah.
We also we think that someone might have a fear that, hey, what if I don't get the book? What if I don't get the chance to meet them? What if I wait in line for 2 hours and I miss out on everybody else? So that's where the logistical stuff come in. We're like, hey, you will have a guaranteed time. We are working on some other logistical things about ordering, stuff like that we listened from previous events that we've all attended or have heard, in threads and TikTok. And we're like, let's work on that because we have a small event. So that's their fear. Let's see how we can, work with the authors on that. Let's see how we can plan this out so that no one has to worry about that. So we are listening, and we promise them we are addressing them as best as we can. And, like you said, give everybody grace, but we're going to do as much as we can. Yeah, you might have to stand in line for 10 minutes. But, we can't avoid a line, but we're not going to have anybody standing in line for an hour. We're not going to, we're addressing that situation.
Yeah.
And so I think people are like, because I know I was like that at Black Romance. So like, oh my God, am I going to be able to pick up all my pre-orders? Am I going to be able to get all my stuff? Just because it was my first big event and I just really didn't know how it was going to go. So with this being a small event, we're like, we'll make sure everyone gets to see everybody. If you don't get to see them on Friday, you're going to get to see them on Saturday or on Sunday, because these same people will be there for hours for 3 days,
I advise anyone who's doing an event, and this is just my opinion,
Mhm.
Take that for what it's worth. Anybody that wants to start an event, if you're doing a small event, go to small events
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
and check out what's not because you're trying to steal their idea, but check out how they move, what they do, how the authors interact with each other, how the readers interact with them, or if your event is on the same basis as that, try to attend the event at least, just even if it's just for the book signing. You know what I'm saying? Just attend it just to get a gauge a better idea because research is a great tool.
Yes, it is.
It,
Oh
I know a
yeah.
lot of people be like, "Oh, they copying." The problem is y'all dumb as fuck. You have to do research
Oh yeah.
because
Mm-hmm.
without research, you just going in blind.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Right.
You know, you can take bits and pieces from another event and not be like that event.
That's
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
right.
Yeah.
So I think the book community, I implore you, please stop that. Stop that.
I
Mm-hmm.
agree.
Because you have to do research. So
Yes.
if I'm doing a big function, I'm gonna go to the Black Readers event and I'm gonna be like, okay, all right, this is where I need to improve myself. Not that I need to take their stuff, I need to improve myself. Or I go, hell, a boozy book tour event. Okay,
Mhm.
I need to improve myself on
Mm-hmm.
this part in this aspect. Okay, bet. I see how they're moving. All right,
Yeah.
I might need more people, or I might be less people, whatever the case may be. But research helps with book events. It really does.
Uh,
And we've had some people who have been very gracious to offer to talk to us about anything. We've been great about networking and connecting with people saying, "Hey, can we talk to you?" And they have been all been saying, "Yeah, give us a call. We'll help you. We understand you're planning something. We will let you
Mm-hmm.
know how." And so we appreciate the event organizers who have been answering our
Mm-hmm.
questions, answering about, will Shannon or someone will reach out. Where'd you get your shirts from? How did this work? How did this work for you? And so we've been very, very thankful for the people who are willing to let us glean information off of them. And like you
Mm-hmm.
said, going to events saying, okay, that table placement probably wouldn't work. Let's look at what our table placement can be to avoid this, like that, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it's
it
not
ties.
taken away from under anybody's event.
Nope.
Oh no, and it ties into what you were saying because one of the things we talked about was we all plan to go because we are all in different states, so we're not all together. And
Mm-hmm.
so when we got together and we started talking about what tickets do you have, what tickets do you have? Okay, now we can go and visit different book events and bring back to the collective. This is what we saw that we liked. This is what we can improve upon. They got it right. Ain't no needing us fixing it. Let's just take the wheel and make it our own because I think sometimes we get so scared and this is just in general in our community, we get so scared somebody's gonna take what we did
Mm-hmm.
and do it and maybe do it better. But sometimes they can take it and just add their own little flair on it. It's not that they're stealing from you, they're just taking your idea, which is wonderful, and they just put their own flair on it. So, it to me, I would see that as a respect of, oh, you liked what I did and you took it and elevated it. Now I'm competitive, so I'm gonna take my idea back and try to elevate it on top of yours.
But that's the beauty.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it all. That's why I hate when I hear, "Oh, this person took my idea." Okay, if they took it, then do something different.
Yeah.
Switch it up.
Or
You know
still
what I'm
do the
saying?
same thing. When you go, I've seen someone say, how many different types of bread are there?
Exactly.
How many different types of bread are there?
The wheel has been
Types of
made
ice cream.
and
How many different
Listen.
types? Right.
recreated thousands of
Right.
times.
Like there's multiple bread on the shelf. So don't
And
let somebody else selling bread stop you from selling bread. You know what I'm saying? This is $1 billion industry. There is enough readers to go around. You see how fast tickets are selling? How stuff going? There is enough readers to go
it
around.
is. And I also want to say this to anybody who is doing the event. Understand that the wheel has been recreated many a times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Romance has been recreated many a times, whether it's white or black.
Hmm.
The book event space, the reason why black events are so different is because we have culture.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want no white person on here to be like, "Oh, we ain't got no culture." No, bitch, you don't. You don't. You don't.
Can't
But
wait.
with black culture, we have so many lanes to go in, and it may seem like somebody is doing the same thing, but they're fucking not. They're
Mm-hmm.
not. Black culture is so rich. The bike culture is so rich. As a person who's in the bike culture, that shit is rich. You can't even touch the surface of
Mhm.
bike culture. You know what I'm saying? So it's so car club culture. Everything is so rich that there's room for everybody. Stop trying to be black famous and be famous.
That part.
And I'm gonna say that one more time because I might have went over some of y'all
Mhm.
heads. Stop trying to be black famous and
Mm-hmm.
be famous. Matter of fact, don't even be famous, be wealthy.
Yep.
That
Because black Hollywood will have famous black actors. Hollywood don't even know who the fuck they are.
mm-hmm.
You're right.
So be careful. Stop trying to be black famous.
Yeah.
Be wealthy. Be in the rooms with the executives, not the famous people.
That's right.
And appreciate your level of wealth where you are and keep growing on it. Don't look at anybody else's. Keep staying on in your lane. And as you stay in your lane, it will expand and you will have more opportunities. And the sky can be the limit. I don't get people who,
You,
you know.
it's people.
And, and
People have a tendency to don't understand clicks.
Mm,
There's
Yep.
a
yeah,
clique of black famous, and
true,
there's a clique of wealthy.
Mhm.
true.
Um, people, Taraji Henson
mm-hmm.
is black famous.
Black famous
Right,
Viola Davis is wealthy.
is wealthy.
Right.
right.
Yes.
Tyler Perry is black famous.
Mm-hmm.
The one who made what's his name who made Sinners?
Oh,
Uh,
Cougar.
Ryan Coogler.
Ryan, is
Ryan
it
Coogler.
Ryan Coogler? Yeah,
Ryan Coogler is wealthy.
Yeah.
You
right.
see the difference?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Because he is bringing black people in spaces outside of black Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now
Mm-hmm.
they are making black movies in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Whereas at Tyler Perry Studios, you're making black movies for black Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to keep that in mind when you are making a book event.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is welcome to a book event, but if it's black, it's black.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Everyone is welcome, no matter the color. But
Mm-hmm.
the
right.
authors will always remain black.
Yeah.
That
Mhm.
part.
That's still a black event.
Mm-hmm.
So
So,
I wanted to say that you asked about the people, but us as the curators of this event, we have fun too because we want people to come and enjoy it. This is our first
mm-hmm.
event, you know what I'm saying, and we want it to be a successful event. So
Yes.
that's why we put our heart into it to try and make it the best event possible. And I love that you talked about, and Shannon, you and Shay have all said, like, hey, you know, there's a million slices of bread, there's a million things. Yeah, we're doing a book event. There are lots of book events. But I can tell you, hey, I didn't think anybody would want to come to Augusta. I was like, why y'all want to come here? I tried to fight against it. But when I tell you every single thing that we put our hands to for this event, like above and beyond in every capacity, whether it was the location, whether it was transportation, whether it was the hotel, whether it was the people showing up, people just made a way. I have a photographer who is a wonderful photographer who literally just had faith in my event. And he was like, this is your first event? He's flying from New York, Storm. He's
Mm,
photographing it for free, Storm. Booked
mm.
Yeah.
his plane ticket the same night I asked him and didn't ask for anything but his hotel. I got you in that hotel. Because when I look at his site and see that his base rates are $5,000 plus,
Damn.
he's
Right.
flying from New York to come to Georgia to come and support. And when I tell you, it's story after story, and
Yes.
that's for us. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm expecting it to be great because
Yeah.
when you're really trying to put your heart into it, as much as we avoided we didn't want to hear. I didn't want to hear. I was trying to say, those are the police bills. Put it in the. And I'm telling you, it's coming together really, really good. So, as curators, we have our own fears. We want it to be successful just as much as you want it to be great because you spent your money on it.
I love that. So, what can attendees truly look forward to for Family First? Give us a vibe check.
Go.
Man,
Go ahead, Shay.
listen. I don't know. Man, let's see.
Look,
I'm
she's
trying to
trying to
think of
tell you
all
something
the words
without telling you too
that
much.
yeah, we just don't want to give it all away
She
because if
don't
we
want to
give
say
away
too much.
all the
She,
surprises,
she won't. She
we
won't to
want you
say
to
it, but
be
she's like,
surprised. I don't want to say it, but come with the best attitude. Listen, we big on kindness at our event, so don't come with the tomfoolery. We not having that. Come with an open heart, open mind, kindness, ready to have fun, ready to have a good time. Listen, it's a sneaker mixer ball. I mean, we're gonna have the
I
music,
love
we're gonna
that.
have the food, we're gonna have the little all of the things that people who wanna have, it's gonna be there. We're gonna be ready to turn up.
Yeah.
So they gonna have to
That's
come on
it.
our vibe. Yeah, because we're coming in early. So we're gonna be pre-game. So by the time they get there Friday, they come on now, because I'm gonna take a couple of naps. I'm gonna make sure I get my naps in because I'm of the age I need a nap. And then listen,
it's gonna be fun.
it's gonna be fun.
All right, all
Yes,
right.
Comfortable
Y'all
fun.
have some
It's not gonna
questions.
be. It's. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Masterpiece said, "What's the name of the event?" And somebody said, "Is it multiple days?"
It's 3 days. It is 3 days because we want to give you a bang for your buck. The ticket's $325, so we understand that because it's 3 days. You get fed for 3 days. You
right.
get a party for 3 days. It's like three parties and a
Mm-hmm.
book event, and all that stuff. So it is. It's Friday night, which is the Monaco Masquerade Mixer. Then we took that from the book. We have the book event that's Saturday during the day, and then we have the New York Block Party Saturday night and the
Mm-hmm.
brunch on Sunday with we chose moo and mimosas because we know folks gonna be a little, might need some help Sunday morning. You know what I'm saying? We want everybody to
Yeah,
come in and be comfortable, and no one feel like they had to dress up or nothing. Come on in your moo.
Your moo moo.
yeah,
Get your little drink. So not a lot because you gotta get on the road, but get you a little, something to cure the headache, and then get on the road. But we want it to be family. We want you to feel like you're at a family block party. You're at
yeah,
a family masquerade. Like they did in the book. We want to bring the book to life for the readers
Yeah.
with the people who built the book.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah,
I
I
mean?
love
So
that.
that's what we're wanting to do. We're wanting you to feel like you're at the Fern. You know what I'm saying? And you're at the block party at the Fern, and that you seeing Blair with that dude. And you know what I'm saying? We want you to feel like you're there.
It will be in Augusta, Georgia.
yes. October 31st through November 2nd. And listen, I want to say this while we on this because I'm in these comments and these readers always talking about come to my state, come to my state. I'm saying from one reader to another. Get y'all a book account, book fund, or something. Put your hot little $10, $20 in there. And sometimes you're going to have to leave out your state to go see your favorite author. These authors cannot come to every state. There is no way they can visit your hometown. So we're having ours in Augusta. You got Columbia right there. You got Georgia right there. You can drive. It's not far. So we're in that southern part of the state. I'm seeing events popping up all over. So the excuse of come to my city, I can't this. I listen. In the last 6 months, we have all seen
Mind you,
these
I
events
didn't hear
popping up.
this. I didn't. It wasn't for me.
I'm
I didn't
sorry,
hear it.
we did not talk, so maybe this was in our spirit because I've been feeling this, and I was waiting on Storm to get around to it, but she never got there. So I'm gonna
I
introduce
was
the
getting there,
subject.
but
I'm sorry, Storm. Okay, let me fall
oh
back then.
no, no,
Go
you go
ahead.
ahead. I just want to put it out there. See,
As a reader, I feel we have to stop doing our authors like that. I don't know about the other community because I don't really visit that side of TikTok and all of that. So I don't know what they're doing. But I don't know if they put that burden on their authors or they just say, hey, this is where I'm gonna be at. If you hear it, come, and if you don't, oh well. We can't expect our authors to just accommodate us and just bend and do everything. And I'm sorry, y'all, I'm not trying to preach.
No.
but that was the point of us curating this event. So it's here. It's gonna be one in St. Louis next month. I mean, Storm and Shannon take their events to so many cities,
Yeah.
and it's just disheartening when I see people in comments talking about they'll never come to my city. You ain't never came here. And I kid you not, I saw somebody say in the comments the author was going, I think, to Pensacola, and they lived in Orlando.
Oh,
And they were like, I mean, you can't get in the car and drive those few hours to go see this person wherever they was gonna be at. It's like it goes back to that entitlement.
mhm.
They have lives and they can't go. But I bet you if Beyonce tell y'all to come to Paris and that's the only place she gonna be, y'all you can go get the tickets. You're gonna mortgage your whole house, kid, and a car to get to where she at, and she don't care nothing about you. So when it comes to our authors, I just and this I'm gonna shut up. I just feel like we need to love and support them and don't put that burden on them. If you can, you and your homegirls get in the car and carpool. If you can and you save up your dollars, I mean, listen, I ain't trying to tell nobody how to run their house, but it's called a budget. I have a book account just for books. And I put my money in that, and that's how I fund my book lifestyle. So just be mindful. It's just a little tip. I love everybody. Y'all don't go and follow me and think I'm all bad.
I'm gonna say this.
I'm not. Listen, but let's just be mindful. You know, go if you can get close to the city. Try, just try if
I'm
you can.
I'm gonna say this, and I don't care if you unfollow me. I don't care.
Okay,
Don't.
thank you, Storm.
Um,
Storm said it. Now,
right? Because I'm about to say it.
Who's Mr. Antagonist? Go ahead, Steve. Go ahead.
But I honestly feel like that when you guys say come to my state, not she's talking about my eyes, Lord, my eyes. Uh-huh. Um, when y'all
uh-oh.
be talking about come to my state, but y'all don't show up, y'all don't buy tickets, y'all sit up here and have all this work done, and then y'all complain why the event ain't got a lot of people. Well, bitches, because you didn't come.
You didn't come.
And so don't allow yourself to say shit that your ass can't cash because you sit up here and you ask book event people that do stuff in different states
Yep.
to come to your state. We come to your state and you don't fucking show up. We market our asses off and it's crickets. It's crickets. And then when we cancel an event, why the fuck did they cancel that event? Let me tell you something. My time is precious. I do not sit on this internet as much as y'all see me. Y'all might think that I'm just more of an internet personality. Baby, behind the scenes, Storms is busy. I am busy. I have opportunities and stuff that is going on behind the scenes. But I take the time out, not because I want y'all to feel sorry for me. Don't ever feel sorry for Storm because Storm got Storm. But what I'm saying is people in this book space take time out to make these book events for you guys. And a lot of us are readers. We are readers making these events.
Yes.
We are not like our pale counterparts who are not readers. They are just looking for an opportunity type of mission to collect the coin. We literally are making space. Every penny that goes into the tickets goes into the events. So a lot of times y'all think that we collect a coin, a dollar, a penny. Bitch, I came in there with that bank account and left out with the same bank account. What the fuck is you talking about?
Right.
I need you to understand that when people do book events, they're not doing this for their health. They're doing it because it was a need. It may be a lot of book events, but it's not in that particular area.
Right.
Or it might not be that particular type of genre.
That part.
So when they bring that to you, you gotta support it. You have to support it. Black readers show out for events. Continue to. And that also means show out for the authors that you don't know.
Right.
Yes.
Especially when they're Black. Show out for them too. Because you don't understand how psychologically going to a book event for a new author is frustrating. It's hard. This is their first event. They already have in their head that people don't like them, whatever. Show out show up. People take their time out, because I know my husband is tired.
Mm-hmm.
That man is tired, okay? And he is an honorary fucking helper of the Boozy Bookstore, and he is tired. That man works a 9-to-5 corporate job, okay? He works every motherfucking day and plus do shit on the weekends for the youth. He is tired. But he does it because he believes in the reader community and he believes in the Black reader community. He sees the need. And he's not even one of those readers that read the books that we read. He just sees the need.
Yeah.
So before you get online and say anything about a book event, I just want you to hear me really well. It takes a lot. Mentally, emotionally, physically, to travel to all these places, make sure everything is set up right. Shit happens. Yes.
Yeah.
But don't put people in a box and think, oh, they just fucking up. Because I went to this event and it was cool. That event is in the same state as the person. Sometimes they are in the same state as people that are on the ground.
Right.
Sometimes you have book events that are not. Everybody living in different places.
Yep.
But they try to make it work. So give grace. Don't gossip. Don't talk bad on it, because guess who hears it before we do? The white people. The white. Oh, look at that! If I heard from XYZ, it was so bad. Argue with your mama, not the internet. Okay.
Right.
Just be mindful. Be very mindful and have respect, because it takes a lot. It takes a lot. So when I hear book event people talking about how stressed they are, or they didn't think anybody was going to show up, it's because they're scared, because so many people don't show up. Not saying Black book spaces don't show up before any of y'all get in y'all high ass. That's not what the fuck I said. I'm just saying sometimes people don't show up for events if they're not a popular author. There are events in libraries. There are events in community service places, but because they're not a popular author, they don't get the same fanfare, and they be right in your city. You'll travel thousands of miles for somebody else, but you have a homegrown author right there and never show up. I have been to plenty of library events in Chicago, and I ain't know none of them Black authors, but I bought their books.
Yeah.
So be mindful of that. That's all I'm saying. If you unfollow me, that's your problem. I don't give a fuck.
I want to say, we don't want to hear people complain about, like I said, they're always complaining about, I didn't get that much time. I didn't get to see them. This is an event with 10 plus people, creatives, who you get multiple chances to talk to them and see them. And you have plenty of payment options. Like, come to this. I don't get my Jacquel books. Her site's always, I can never get my orders out. Go to an event. This is her last one of the year. Go to the event and pre-order your books. This is your chance. Think outside the box, or inside the box, inside the payment box. Think this is a good way to have this time with her, and all that's her and the other 10 wonderful people that are going to be there. Brianna, Reese, Leandra, all of them, Cold. This is the time to connect with them. Everybody wants to be the author's best friend. Come be their best friend at the event. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And also, I don't know anybody that this is their full-time job that pays their bills off of Black event planning. So I have a lot. Like she said, we do a lot. I'm a single mother. I work full-time. I'm a student. I'm a caregiver. All of that stuff. And I do this because I love books, and I loved when I got to be authors, and we want to curate. All of us have full-time jobs that we do, in full-time things, and kids and other things, and multiple businesses. Nat is one of the busiest people I know. You know what I'm saying? So Nat is planning multiple other events. Right. We do this for the love. We are not doing this for the money, because the thing, I done paid out more on this than I will think will even come back to me. We are all just like, this is my donation to the thing. You know what I'm saying? Because we truly truly love this. I was just going back and forth with the author today about how her book, I felt it. And and we want to open this up so people get the chance to tell these authors how they feel. That's what we do with the Zooms and stuff, so that you get the
Yeah.
option to connect with them, because we've seen it on their faces when someone told how it affected them and how that boosted that author. That was able to speak life into them, which how when they found that out. And so that's really, we do this for the love, not for the money, not for the money,
Right.
not for the money, because we would not be making enough money to pay us for our time.
No.
Trust me. Trust
No.
me.
Absolutely
No.
not.
Not no
And then
show
right
for
strong.
$100.
Right. Right.
It's not enough. It's not enough.
It's not.
So it's
No,
It's
literally
not.
out of love, y'all. It's
Right.
literally.
literally out of love.
So, what are your overall goals for the event, and how do you plan to achieve them, both short and long term?
I think our overall goal initially was to allow the Delgados Infernos to kind of go out with a bang, because we know that Jaquel is moving on into a new season of writing and books and family. Not saying that they're gone forever, but we
Mm-hmm.
know that there's a transition. And so we were celebrating our 1 year anniversary and also closing out Dinners, Drinks, and Delgados and kind of birthing Inspired Events.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, our goal would be to let people know who we are and how we can, and for the authors and other event planners, how we can support them through event
Right.
coordination and Zoom calls and reader connection. We call it, reader connection and event coordination. Um, how we can assist them, and so we want to do that through curating an event and them seeing how we work, because we can tell you anything, but we
Mm-hmm.
can also, but if we show you and you can say, yeah, they know logistics. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they know reader connection. Yes, they talk to authors and listen.
Yeah.
So we can show you better than we can tell you. And so this is our chance to kind of show who we are, show our love for the
Mhm.
community. So we want, at the end of the day, we want people to feel the love. We want people to enjoy themselves. We want them to leave feeling the connection, feeling feeling it in here. I talked to them. I got to know them. They know me. I
Mm-hmm.
have met so many book friends,
Mhm.
and I'm thankful the Inspired ladies were able to facilitate that love and connection between
Yeah.
them.
And then I think lastly too, showing that we all can get along. We don't have to compete. We can all get along and support each other. And that's
Mm-hmm.
one of the main things that Inspire wants to bring. If you need ARC readers, we do ARC reads. If you need street team members, we do that. You need us to help support your event. If you're an author, you may need us to host your Zoom, or you having a big release and you don't want to have to deal with all of that. We can come in and help you with that. But then people see us working together. They know we're here, like Shay and Natalie said, for the love of the community.
Mm-hmm.
For example, we had talked about, before the amazing Shelly P put it out, we had talked about the next place to do an event was in California, right? And we talked about it. We were getting ready to start looking at planning it, and she announced it. Okay, let's pivot. We don't have to do that. So I still wanted to do, because I want to talk to all Cali authors. So I said, let's do a chat. And so when we were talking about it, I said, hey, let's bring Shelly P on. Let's bring on some of the California authors. Let's let her come on. We talk to her, and we can still have that chat. We can still have our thing while also celebrating with her, letting people know about her. We can come together and show that this is a real community. We're not all out here. We're out here to support each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that, so we'll be having a going back to Cali chat. And we're going to be
I like
talking to
that.
Cali authors. So listen, get your little Kango, your door knock earrings, whatever you want to wear, going back to Cali, you know. Okay, well, maybe that's not Cali, but whatever. That's what LL had on.
Yeah.
Get your stuff, join us on the Zoom, and we're going to chat and talk to these authors and get to know.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a good mix too. We have some new to you authors. Just in general, we have older authors, heavy. We're bringing in a mix
Mm-hmm.
because it will help the new authors when they are looking for people to connect with. Then they can come in and connect with the other authors, and they won't feel pressured in doing the chat with us if they've never done it before. They're just getting out here starting to engage and finding
Mhm.
what that looks like for them, because every author doesn't engage the same.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
they may need to find what works for them in their brand and their lane. So
That
they'll
was an
have that.
accident. I didn't mean to push that. I didn't mean to send that invite. My bad. All right, go ahead. I was trying to clear something off the screen and I wound up sending the invite.
Oh no, you're fine. That was all I was going to speak to that. As far as us just being able to work together and work with other groups and other like-minded um, hosts and different groups that are doing things in the
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
bookish community.
just like Shannon said, we had thought of a city, and we were like, we should do one in that city. Someone else announced that city. We reached out to them, say, hey, you need us help? You need help?
Yep,
We like,
Mm-hmm.
yep. You need
cool.
us.
Do you need us? Let us know. We got you. And so that's what we want to do. We want to say, hey, if someone sees a need before we are able to get to it, what do y'all need us to do? You
Right,
need us, Storm? What do you need us to do? We got you. You
right.
know, any of that stuff. We
Yeah.
that's what we want to be.
Mm,
Yeah.
exactly. So how is marketing? How is marketing playing a role in your strategy? What have you learned about promoting
That's
in
not
this
me. That is
Man.
Shay. That's not
That
me.
is
That's
Shannon in our
Shay,
trivia job.
Shannon. That's Shay, Shannon, and RTV.
That's
I would say this: when you are starting out and you are on a limited budget and you
Mhm.
have to create all the graphics and you have to be the poster and you have to be the person who thank God we have AI and chat GPT to think of a caption sometimes. But you have to do all of those things. It can get very overwhelming. And to be transparent, when we first started out, we were doing good on somebody was here and somebody was there and we were posting, but it wasn't really getting the traction that we wanted. So listen, we had to come back to the drawing board, pivot, and say, hey, okay, y'all, we got to come up with a different strategy.
mhm.
Can you
Mhm.
do this day on TikTok? Can you do this day? And then we put a collective social media post out. So it's the same thing across the board and it's consistent and it looks uniform. And I'm a person that, listen, I can ask you for forgiveness all day, but I still want to present a well executed, well thought out. But all the time, it doesn't happen like that. It's growing pains, and
Yeah.
it happens like that. But we pivoted, and so now we have taken a different approach to how we are getting the information out there,
Yeah.
and we are seeing better results.
Mhm.
And
So
we
it
Mhm.
doesn't
reached out
hurt
to
to say,
people.
we need to pivot and start over. Sorry, Nat. Go
No,
ahead.
it's okay. And we reached out to our host, Specs and Rex, which is Coco
Yes. Oh yeah.
Chevelle and Coco Chevelle and Tasha. And they help with it. Tasha is amazing. And of course, I stalked your inbox. I call your phone,
Thank you.
Storm, and you make me lovely videos.
Uh,
Yes.
I
Yes,
told you I quit that job.
yes,
Uh-uh.
we, we,
Uh-uh.
we like it. Like she said, we're learning we're learning that we can't do everything. Because we were like,
Yeah.
oh, in the beginning, we were like, yo, we can do. We were like, nope, we need host. Nope, we need help with this. We can't make all the graphics. We might have to, ask somebody to do one or two, or we can't. We have to ask. We're learning because we are so used to supporting people. We're
Mhm.
having to learn to ask for support. And
That
so
Yeah.
that is
part.
something that
As you should.
as strong women, I'm not used to asking for anything. You know what I'm saying? So,
Look. We all Shaka Zulu until we ain't.
yes,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Until we ain't.
right.
Right.
So we're having to learn to do that. Like, hey, you know what? We might have to ask some people to share some posts. Just
Yeah.
say, hey.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna shout out Jen for Imagine Consulting and her. We had a conversation at Indie Love, and she is. I don't know if you know Jen. Um,
Absolutely.
Yes, I wanted to shout out her at Indie Love. She said, she talked to me and she was like, y'all need to do this and do this and do this. And if you need anything, let me know. And she was so supportive and was just giving me recommendations and things like that. So I do want to shout out her for her help.
Yeah. So, how have you leveraged or even mastered social media as a marketing tool? What's been working for you besides the posting on separate days or being in unison?
I'll be honest, we have not found what works the best yet. You know, what works the best right now is what we found is when Jaquel shared it. You know, so we figured out at first we were a little like, we don't want to have to ask her to do everything, da 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 da. But you know what? We're marketing to her people, so now we do. You know, we're going to have to do that. So I'm going to be honest, we haven't found what works the best yet. We're still
You want some advice?
yes, ma'am. We'll
Yes.
take it.
All right. I need y'all on all of y'all social platforms. Look at your analytics, and I
Okay.
want you to see what time frame everybody is on.
Okay.
That time frame is the time frame where you need to be posting. One day you post a video. The video can be dealing with car clubs, bike clubs, but connected to Augusta, Georgia, and the first family.
Mm-hmm.
The next day, and on TikTok, because this works so well, when you post just a picture,
Okay.
just a picture, and that picture will get sent out quicker by TikTok than a video.
Okay.
And you have to post it also in your stories. And on Instagram or Threads, make sure you, sometimes people overuse that hashtag Black Book Talk.
Yeah.
I mean book threads. Just put book threads.
Okay.
It'll go out to the masses.
Okay.
We are trying to promote events to Black readers, but you want the traction so people can see it. And on Instagram, it's good to make a short little video that will catch somebody's eye that's dealing with first family. It don't have to be elaborate or AI or anything like that. Just something that somebody be like, oh, I know what that is. Oh, that's Biker Boys. Or that's Fast and Furious. Or, you know, just a video of the car doing donuts. A video of the bike smoking out. You know what I'm saying? And then the next slide is your flyer.
Yeah.
So something simple. People be trying to do elaborate shit.
Yeah.
You don't have to. But that was something that works really well for the Boozy Book Tour. We got more traction with our posts where it's just a picture, and more traction with our posts that had, like, for our house party, I mean for the Melanin Ball, we put, okay, Kid and Play, made a whole theatrical movie thing about the Kid and Play Pajama Jam.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, you just got, for our fantasy, okay, AI worked. So we made a fantasy AI trailer for the fantasy ball we're doing. It's you just gotta, and then you got to tag the readers you're trying to get.
Okay.
So, like we do hashtag fantasy talk, hashtag biker club,
Okay.
hashtag black bike life, hashtag car clubs, hashtag, you know, you don't always have to use the book part. You can put the book part and those hashtags and make it only like 4 hashtags. Too many hashtags that they can spam.
Okay.
Oh.
When you
Thank
put
you.
like 20,000 hashtags or over 10, hell, sometimes over 6, they immediately say, oh, she's spamming. They spam.
Yeah.
So it makes no traction.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Listen.
Look, we both taking notes. I'm taking notes.
Listen, we know how to appreciate over here.
Yeah.
And
This is
TV is in
something,
the comments talking about she listening too.
but see, I'm just saying, because this is something me and Shannon have learned over the 2 years of us doing this.
Yeah.
When we first started, our videos were going nowhere. We'll get like 10 likes or not even no likes. And then once stuff started happening, I didn't hear about your event. We using about 10,000 hashtags. The videos were too long, or they wasn't pleasing to the eye. The flyers were like too generic. So we had to, like you said, go back and revamp.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Thank you so much, Storm. We appreciate that. Thank you.
yes.
Yes.
And this is what we call, you know, this is what we,
Right. This is what it's about.
this is what it's about. Everybody
Yeah.
can read. And I'm so excited for Vegas. I'm ready to hook my, I don't talk 2 other people into coming with me. So
Vegas is going to be a time. And whatever happens in Vegas at the Building the Bar, it ain't on Shannon and me. It is not our fault.
Well, I'm ready for Chicago. Tickets are purchased. Car is rented.
So we going to get to that because you got your own segment in Chicago.
I do.
So where can we buy tickets and how can people stay updated? Drop them links. Give us the details.
InspiredEvents.com is our website. You can purchase the tickets there. We do have all of the payment options people like to have, from Affirm to Klarna to all of the things. They're there. Also, our Facebook group is the Inkwell. If you want to follow us on Facebook, it's called the Inkwell, and then we are Inspired Events on TikTok and Instagram.
And Facebook. We do have a Facebook page too that is Inkspired Events.
Oh yes.
But we recommend people join the Inkwell because if we have any specials or specialty stuff that comes up after we sell all the regular tickets, that the Inkwell will get access to anything outside of that first.
Yeah.
Okay. For those who can't attend, right?
Mm-hmm.
How can they still support Inspired Events and the authors involved?
Share.
Donation.
Yeah.
We have donation opportunities, sponsorship opportunities.
Yes.
Go share.
Yes. Like she said, like and share. Tell other people who you know can come to come on and come. As a matter of fact, talk your friend into coming so they can pick up your pre-orders. You know what I'm saying? So if they can't come, say, hey, why don't you go? You can go. I'm gonna be out of town. You go ahead and go and pick up my books for me. But also we'll have 150 swag bags that we'll need. If there is, we're gonna put this out there. We're just now putting it out there if you don't mind me telling. If there's someone out there that is starting up who thinks, hey, I need to get out, and you want to get out there in front of 150 people plus authors, and you want to pitch your stuff to them, send them to us so we can pitch it we can put it in the swag bags. We have we need to make about 15 author packages. You got something you want to pitch for a box to go in the author box? Send us 20 of them so we can give them to the authors with a pitch, and we'll provide them to them. And all that stuff, so we can help you help us.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? You got like Nat and her tea boxes. You got something you want to pitch your author in a box? Send it on to us, and we'll put it in the author boxes. And that way, that's how you get to them.
And Cherie is right, because with us, we've had people who own bookstores, readers who have purchased tickets, which we'll be raffling off later this next month, that purchased tickets for Chicago, the Melanin Ball, the Dungeon Night, stuff like that. They have purchased those tickets for readers, so all you have to pay for is your flight.
Yeah.
Wow.
They don't purchase VIP tickets. So, I mean, support people.
Yeah.
And we are it's easy to reach us. You can reach out to one of us 5 individually, and we always go back to the collective. Or you can reach out to us on the Facebook, on the TikTok, all of that, because we all look at all of them. So if you have any questions or anything, reach out to us. We're nice most of the time. Once I've had a nap, you know.
So I'm gonna go ahead and do my outro, and I'm gonna do some housekeeping. I know a lot of y'all want to hear about book events. If you stick around, not only will I be talking about Booty Book Tour events, I'll be talking about other events that you should be on the lookout for, and about readers who have businesses that can help you as an author, a reader, and as a business. So if you want to stick around, find out that information after I do my outro, you can. If you don't, all right, have a good night. So in this outro, it is Inkspired Events is showing us that when you build with purpose, community shows up. Family First is more than a title. It's a declaration that Black stories, Black readers, Black authors belong at the center, not on the sidelines. To the team behind Inkspired, thank you for doing the work with heart and intention. And to the readers, show up, show love, keep building the literary spaces in our communities. This is Black Girl Tired Book Talk, where literature meets liberation. Until next time, stay love, stay loud, and stay Black on motherfucking purpose.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
So let's do these housekeeping. If you ladies want to stick around, you can. If you got something to do, you can go.
We with you, friend. We with you.
Yeah.
All right. So we know I always start out with Boozy Book Tour, and we have our event in Arlington. We have a great lineup. And then that is July 25th through the 26th. That is in Arlington, Virginia, and Fairfax, Virginia. And then we have Chicago, the 2-year anniversary of Boozy Book Tour. I cannot believe we've been here for 2 years because some of y'all drive me crazy and I want to quit. So we are having our Chicago event. That is October 17th, 18th, and 19th. On the 17th, Miss Natalie here with the Urban Tea Room and Foodies Who Love to Read are going to teach you about spices and wine, tea, and I don't know. She said she got something with a wine blend, so I don't know. So you're going to be at the loft that we have for you guys. It's limited spaces. That is part of